Today's the day. Let's do it. I'm feeling it. Let's do it. Man, hand me that. Oh, I like it clicking. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, almost just died. Whew. Maybe another time. Hi, my name is Christian Ablin, and this is my informative speech on how to correctly perform the bench press. Now, bench press is an excellent workout to build your upper body strength, and it's widely performed throughout the world. Now, any day you step into a gym, especially on Monday, which a lot of people refer to as National Chest Day, you'll see the benches taken over by multiple people. It is really rare to find them vacant. So you think an exercise that is so much performed throughout the world would be performed correctly by most of the people, right? Well, in fact, the answer is no. In fact, by a quote by Jim Smith that he wrote in an article called Bench Press 101 on Schwarzenegger.com, it states that the majority don't know how to actually perform it correctly. In fact, multiple people end up looking at me at the beginning of the speech, walking up confidently to the bench, but slowly embarrassing themselves as they begin to perform it. The good news is, though, the bench press is an effective workout that can easily be performed once you know 3 key tips. These tips are what exactly the bench press is and what it works, steps to take before you actually bench press, and the correct technique while you're bench pressing. Now on to the first part. You can't really approach the bench until you actually know what it is. Now, put in simple terms, the bench is basically when you lay down on the bench and push a weight away and towards your body using your arms. That's basically put in simple terms. And the muscles you are using while you're doing it are going to be your chest muscles, your arm muscles, and your shoulder muscles, such as your triceps or your deltoids. But actually, according to Andrea Cespedes, an article, What Muscles Does the Bench Press Work, on AsCentral.com, she states that the primary muscle targeted with the bench press is the pectoral or chest muscle. Alright, so on to my next point. You really need to know there's a certain amount of steps you need to take before you can actually go and bench press. The first one you should do is to eat and stay hydrated. Now when you're bench pressing, you're going to be using a lot of energy, so it's good to eat and have food in you to have that energy to bench press. Also, you will be sweating, so it's good to have water in your system and stay hydrated, especially while you're doing it. Now next, if you're the type of person that likes to take supplements, there's a few you can take to increase your benching performance. One I recommend is pre-workout, and this is an example of what it would look like. And this basically just gives you an energy boost that will energize you while you're benching and help you better perform it. And another supplement you could take, this isn't one you take, but you take actually after you bench, is protein. And this is what it looked like. This is an example of it. And that's a supplement. It'll basically increase your muscle mass and your strength, and over time increase your bench. All right, another step you'd have to take is if you have a lot of pains and areas, especially in your wrists, shoulders, basically any muscle or part of your body you're gonna be using while you're benching, I recommend investing in a brace, because that'll make it easier and make it less painful while you're benching. An example of this would be this brace I have right here, which actually is a brace that you put on your wrist and it reduces the pain you feel. And then the final step you should take before actually approaching the bench is to have a spotter. And like you saw at the beginning of the video, this man was my spotter here. And basically the spotter is the person that stands behind the bench and make sure the weight comes back up. And they're basically there for your safety, and it's really frowned upon in the world of weightlifting if you actually bench without a spotter. All right, on to my final point, the correct technique while you're actually benching. And I just want to start off with these facts I got from Joseph M. Warpina, I think that's how you say it, in an article he wrote called 5 Common Bench Press Mistakes. And he quoted that the 3 most common technique mistakes while benching were lifting your butt off the bench, bouncing the bar off your chest, and also lifting your feet off the ground while you're benching. Now, I'm just gonna illustrate real fast the correct technique you should have while you're benching. I'll have him help me. So a lot of benching, there's not like a set way to do it. It's basically what's comfortable for you. So for me, I'm a taller guy, so I like to go towards the end of the bench. Maybe if you're shorter, you like to go farther in. I just don't like my head hanging off the end. It's really preference. All right, it's good to lay down, get comfortable, get ready. All right, and when you grab the bar, this is another thing that's up to preference. I personally like to put my hands thumb width from the grooves, but that's really up to preference. I've seen some people do it closer like this, or some people farther like this, but it's really up to preference. Now when you actually go to perform the bench, there's a few things you should know. Always, always, always keep your feet and butt and head on the ground. It is frowned upon to take them off the bench while you're benching. Now when you actually go to bench, the correct form, keep your elbows in, go down, touch your chest, and push it back up. Grab it now. And that's basically the correct technique right there. So in conclusion, you should now know the 3 key tips to take to correctly perform the bench press. The first tip being know exactly what it is and the muscles you're working, which to re-identify are your chest, arm, and shoulders. Take the correct steps before you go to bench, which would stay hydrated, eat a lot, take supplements if you want, wear braces if you feel you need them, and especially if I'll have a spotter. And thirdly, just knowing the technique. So, and I'd like to end with a quote that I found by a pretty famous weightlifter, Anthony Lee, and he said that lifting weights is like life. Another rep is another day. And that's really how you should approach bench. Another rep, another day. Thank you.